Travis, my good soul. There's an old TV show called Sliders. I'm not sure what channel it was on, but it was about a college university student who worked a job at a local computer store, who invented wormhole travel to different worlds and called it sliding. And on his first pilot voyage, the second one with the others, actually, they got lost. Anyway, they ended up in a parallel world that Russia had taken over the United States of America. And so a statue at the university was of Joseph Stalin. Otherwise, everything seemed to be the same. It's just that once you got into the core of the mindset of the people, that's when you realized of the Russian communist mindset. And they knew that they were not home yet. And so as deceiving must be done with an outward appearance of goodness, that only by identifying the core can you expose the truth. Yes, my channel is all about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And Moses, chapter 1. And it wasn't too many days ago when I did a video about this book in the learning of the Jews. We get to verse 6. Moses is speaking with God, and he is told that, he says, "Moses, my son, thou art in the similitude of mine only begotten," who is the Messiah. Now, if you don't know the learning of the Jews, this is a reverse. Because in Deuteronomy 18, 15 through 19, the author of that law of the Jews is saying that there is to be a Messiah who will be in the similitude of Moses. And so this verse 6 is being added to the law. This is a Joseph Smith translation. And he's reversing it around. So instead of the prophecy, you're having a story of Moses talking with God and saying that he is like unto the Messiah. And so then Lucifer comes along and is trying to convince Moses to worship him, but Moses cannot see his glory. And so it's only a verbal appearance of goodness to deceive Moses, not an outward appearance. He says, "I can look upon thee in the natural man," whereas I had to be transfigured before God. We'll go into a doctrinal discussion on that. But in verse 19, Satan is getting frustrated with Moses for not just believing whatever he tells them. And he's now starting to get angry. You must believe me. And he says to Moses, I am the only begotten. Worship me. Moses already knows he's not. And so in a last-ditch effort, he demanded that Moses obey and worship him as the only begotten, even though Moses is in the similitude of the only begotten. Lucifer is not in the similitude of the only begotten. It is a clear night and day difference. And so, as I told you in this morning's video, this is church news. The big story: light the world, giving machines, light up Times Square. And so, if you squint, you can see what it says on the side of the boxes. Light the world, giving machine, 100% of the donation goes to charity cause of your choice. And so if you think that the church is not a part of collecting money from this, I wonder what charities. Let's find out. Because if it's LDS philanthropies or LDS charities, church is profiting off of it. But LDS Light the World Giving Machine charities. And it's buffering, and it's buffering, and it's buffering. Give clean water, goats, meals, and toys. Gives directly to global and local charities. Now, so let's check it out. See if they. Helping me. Sustaining spirits in Ukraine. As there's an overlaying. Oh, God. Oh, dear God. They're not dead yet. We're supposed to be militarily helping them against Russia. And so what items or charities need the most donations? They're not giving me the quick, simple answer. This is one of the problems, is that because there is no quick, simple answer of donate to the Red Cross, donate to a food bank, donate to alien abductees, whatever. List it so that we know. Don't deceive us by leading us in charity. Oh, it must be good. This is the problem I have. And the whole website is designed to not give you a straightforward answer other than must be Christian, must be Jesus. I'm feeling inspired. Where does my donation go? How did I know? The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints covers all operational costs for the Light the World Giving Machines Initiative. Individual credit card transaction fees are covered by the donor or the church. As such, participating nonprofit organizations receive 100% of every donation. They still won't list the nonprofit organizations. And so, let's see, housing and shelter. Global charities. Church World Service. Church World Service transforms communities in every continent through sustainable responses to hunger, poverty, displacement, and disaster. Church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So the 100% goes to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And they then take it and put it wherever they want it to go. That's what they put on the bottom of our tithing and donation slips. That's what they get in trouble for with the whistleblower. Lifting Hands International. I think that's also the church. Lifting Hands International. And it's here in Utah. Warehouses in American Fork. See emergency response in Gaza, not in Israel. See where their side is drawn? That's another issue. They claim that, Jesus is coming to save the Jews from this war. Where is he? He didn't show. Oh no, but they're helping Palestinians. They're helping Hamas. And so yes, it's Mormons running this organization. And what do Mormons have to do? They have to pay tithing back to the church. So the money is laundered back to the church from those who run the operation and get paid as an employee working for this. Because you do know that's what LLC corporation charities, 501c3s do. They have to live. They can't just work for free. They'd have to have another job. And so the IRS allows corporations that are tax exempt to use some of that money to pay for their living expenses. And as Mormons, they all have to pay tithing to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. See the deception that's going on here? And donate clothing. The church already has that. That's Deseret Industries, isn't it? Is that what it's called? And then UNICEF. Okay. But again, the church does business deals with UNICEF to arrange to have them be a part of this. But the housing and shelter, that was just hilarious. Dear God. So education, African Girls Hope Foundation, Mentors International, and UNICEF again. And again, this is why the church does their tours. The prophets do their tours around the world. They just finished with the African tour. And so now we see African Girls Hope Foundation. They made a business deal to have the African Foundation be placed in that little vending machine. The church is profiting. We are about to leave and open a new site. No, I don't want to leave. Give of your time. Oh. Refugee aid. Yeah, Hamas. But it's lifting hands for that. Health and wellness. American Red Cross. Yep. They are for Hamas, not Israel. CARE and Church World Service. Mentors International, UNICEF again, and WaterAid. See, all of those aid are complaining that Israel is to blame and needs to stop, and are giving aid and comfort to those women and babies and children who refused to leave and then ended up in the hospital because they were on the front lines protecting Hamas. Food and livestock, cows in the Book of Mormon, CARE, Church World Service, IDE, Mentors International, and UNICEF. And then clean water. They won't do it for Utah, but they'll do it in other places where they profit off of it. IDE, UNICEF, and WaterAid. You didn't know that the church poisons their girls' camps? Yeah, in 2019, a woman exposed that whole operation. And then coronavirus. And it went bye-bye. Everybody forgot. Except me. And so, we now also have Light the World, or that's the giving thing. Christmas lights at the Mesa, Arizona Temple with a nativity scene. So is that the church? Is that the learning of the Jews? Is it? Are you sure? Have you never studied what the learning of the Jews is regarding who the Jewish Christ is? Give you a hint, it's not Jesus. Give you another hint, a Jewish author wrote those Gospels. And it's not Jesus. But I'm confused. You got to get rid of your Constantine Christian interpretation that has blinded the minds of multi-billions over the 1700 years. And then finally we have the church breaks ground for Kaohsiung. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Taiwan Temple. Oops! Emperor Qi, can you help explain to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints what they did wrong here? And they made this big error at the Pulpit of Conference, too. Right after Emperor Qi threatened the whole world and forced even celebrities like John Cena to learn Chinese to apologize in Chinese to China over Taiwan. Yes, it's the People's Republic of China. And so you see how the church is only using China for business, but they don't respect China at all. When Nelson got up at the pulpit of conference and announced the temple in China because of the business deal he did for COVID, and it was a big old scandal, big old scam on the whole United States of America. He says that there are strict rules and regulations that China gave to the church in regards to having the already existing building be converted for use as a temple, only for those who live in China. And they all have to have IDs, as the Chinese guards may be checking to make sure that they are legitimate and that it's being used for the said purpose, and that no foreign visitors come to that temple, etc., etc. And here the church is blatantly dissing on Emperor Qi, or we'll just call him Winnie the Pooh. I understand he likes it. And so, yeah, this is the core that I'm exposing of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's an appearance of light, but inside it is corruption. And so, yeah, angel light. Second Corinthians chapter 11, verse. Here we have false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. Perfect. I was just going to read verse 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Let's see if we got a bombshell here. Cut off. Ooh, there it is. Verse 12. Okay. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness. Mormons are Danites. The prophets are Danites by blood, or they are compromised sufficiently to their satisfaction to become an apostle. Because I don't remember any gongs on the Pioneer Trail. Or Suarez, or Uchtdorf's. Because Uchtdorf, he gave his talk in 2017 about Aaronic priesthood holders being bearers of light. And Mormons will fool you into thinking, yeah, so, that star, which way is it pointing? That star is a symbol of Jesus Christ's light. Which way is it pointing? Whose symbol is that again? Exactly. The inverted pentagram is the star of light when pointed up, but it's now pointing down to deceive, to be false. It's right there on the keystone of the headquarters temple of Salt Lake City. And Mormons lie. The church covered it up, put a big old wall in front of it. And now that wall can be down while they remodel the temple, because nobody's allowed on the premises until it's all finished. and they rebuild the wall to cover it up. Unless they finally get a hitman hired to cause the day that shall burn as an oven. Or overthrow the government of the United States. So that one's going well. But, yeah, fascinating. The truth of Christ. So yes, this was by a Jew. This was not by a Christian. It may say Jesus somewhere in here. May. Could be. Possibly. Somewhere. Hebrews. Where's Jesus? I'm not seeing Jesus. Oh, there it is. Finally, near the end. Verse 31. The God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, which is blessed forevermore, knoweth that I lie not. Finally. Whew. But again, you got to interpret it as a Jew, not as a Christian. And so he is not real. He was not in the Roman period time. That birth, nativity stuff, that was not him. That's the learning of the Jews. It's the future. That's a star date. That was Star Trek, not Sliders, but, close enough.